The truth about laundromat passive income. Most summaries skip the operating details. On money machines we map how laundromats actually make money, what it costs to run, where margins get squeezed, and whether the hype matches reality. Illustrative estimates only, not financial, legal, tax, or investment advice. A laundromat is a real estate-anchored equipment business. Coin or card-operated washers and dryers installed in a leased or owned commercial space, generating revenue per load with minimal staffing once machines and payment systems are running. Most operators run either a fully unattended model, card/app payment, remote monitoring, or a lightly attended model with part-time staff for cleaning and cash collection. The business is closer to commercial real estate plus equipment leasing than a typical retail storefront. Location, lease terms, and machine mix drive economics far more than marketing. Laundromats split broadly into unattended, fully card/app operated stores requiring minimal on-site staffing, and attended stores with part-time staff for cleaning, change-making, and wash and fold service. The attended model adds labor cost but can add a meaningfully higher margin drop-off service revenue line. Machine mix matters. A store weighted toward large capacity and high efficiency front-load washers commands higher per load vend pricing and appeals to bulk/commercial laundry customers, but those machines cost several times more than standard top-load units and take longer to pay back. This is fundamentally a real estate and equipment financing business as much as a service business. Lease terms, length, renewal options, plumbing/electrical responsibility, and machine financing structure, cash purchase, lease to own, distributor financing, affect the underlying economics as much as customer volume does. Before evaluating income potential, identify who pays, for what outcome, and why they choose this provider over alternatives. Per load vend pricing commonly ranges from about $2.50 to $5 or more for a standard top-load wash, with large capacity and specialty machines, comforters, commercial loads, priced higher, plus dryer time typically sold in coin drop or card increments. Illustrative example, a 30-machine store with average utilization generating $20,000 to $50,000 in monthly gross revenue is a commonly cited range for an established laundromat, though new or poorly located stores can run far below that. Ancillary revenue includes vending machines on-site, wash and fold drop-off service, higher labor cost but higher margin per pound, and change/card machines. Wash and fold drop-off service is commonly priced per pound, illustrative $1.50 to $3 or more per pound, and carries meaningfully higher margin per customer interaction than self-service vend revenue, but requires staff labor and liability for handling customers' belongings. On-site vending machines, snacks, drinks, laundry supplies like detergent pods, and card/change machines add incremental revenue with minimal additional labor once installed, though they're a small fraction of total store revenue compared to wash/dry vend fees. Revenue is highly location dependent. A store near dense multi-family housing with limited in-unit laundry access can dramatically outperform a store in a neighborhood where most residents have their own washer/dryer. The same machine mix and pricing can produce very different results depending on this single variable. Compare gross revenue to net cash flow, they are not the same. Startup cost range, illustrative $200,000 to $500,000 plus to buy an existing store. New build-out can run similarly high or more. Build-out or acquisition costs vary widely. Buying an existing operating laundromat is commonly estimated at $200,000 to $500,000 or more depending on machine count, condition, and revenue history, while building out a new store from a shell space, plumbing, gas/electric upgrades. Machines, flooring, security, can run similarly high or higher. Individual machines are a major line item. Commercial top-load washers commonly run $1,000 to $2,500 each, while high-efficiency front-load washers and large-capacity machines run $3,000 to $9,000 or more each, with a full store needing 20 to 40 machines. Utilities, water, sewer, gas or electric for dryers, are one of the largest recurring costs and are commonly estimated at 15 to 25% of gross revenue, which is why utility rates at a given location materially change the underlying math before a single customer walks in. Margin pressure, net margins commonly estimated 20 to 35% after utilities, rent, and maintenance, utilities are the largest variable cost. Owner labor is frequently the largest hidden cost. Value your time at a realistic hourly rate. Buying an existing operating laundromat requires real due diligence on the seller's actual utility bills, machine age and maintenance history, and lease terms remaining. Sellers often present optimistic gross revenue figures without disclosing rising utility costs or machines nearing end of life. Water heating for wash cycles and heat for dryers make gas or electric utility rates a first-order variable in the underlying math. A location with high commercial utility rates can turn an otherwise identical store unprofitable compared to a lower utility cost market. Repair and maintenance costs rise as machines age. Commercial washers and dryers commonly have a useful life measured in years before major component failures, motors, bearings, control boards, become frequent, and a store running older machines should budget for a higher ongoing repair reserve than a newly built-out store. Operators fail by underestimating utility costs relative to vend pricing, buying into a declining location, population loss, rising in-unit laundry in new apartment construction, or a competing laundromat opening nearby, or skipping a thorough review of the seller's actual utility bills and machine age before buying an existing store. Machine downtime is a silent revenue killer. A broken washer earns nothing while still costing floor space and utility hookups. Because gross revenue is easy to show but net margin depends heavily on utility rates, lease terms, and machine age, buyers who don't get real utility bills and repair records before purchase frequently overpay relative to true cash flow. Key failure points: underestimated utility costs, declining location/demographics, machine downtime, skipping due diligence on sellers' actual utility bills. Hype content optimizes for clicks, operators optimize for contribution margin and cash runway. Buyers who skip verifying actual utility bills and machine service records against the seller's claimed revenue frequently discover the real net margin is lower than advertised once they take over. Gross revenue is easy to show, true operating costs require documentation, not a listing photo. New apartment construction increasingly includes in-unit washer/dryer hookups, which structurally reduces the addressable customer base for nearby laundromats over time in some markets. A location that worked well a decade ago may face declining demand from newer housing stock. Machine downtime is easy to underweight. A washer that's broken for 2 weeks isn't just lost revenue from that machine, it's also a customer who may not come back, since laundromat visits are driven heavily by convenience and reliability. Verdict on laundromats: moderate, capital-intensive but low daily labor once systems are running, requires real estate and equipment financing literacy. Startup cost: high scalability, low-medium per location automation, medium, unattended model, risk, medium beginner, needs capital and diligence. Verdict: real cash flow business if bought/built on real numbers, not listing photos. Do the spreadsheet for your market. Run a small test before scaling. Laundromats can be a genuine cash flow business with relatively low daily labor once systems are running, but the economics depend heavily on utility rates, machine age, and lease terms that vary enormously by specific location. Before buying an existing store, request the seller's actual utility bills for the past 12 months and machine service records. If a seller won't produce them, treat the listed revenue figures with real skepticism. Subscribe to Money Machines for more hype versus reality breakdowns. Educational content only. Illustrative estimates. Not financial, legal, tax, or investment advice.